Today, we stand at the closing of an extraordinary parliamentary year. But as we must reflect, we must ask ourselves, what is our role in Parliament? And did we fulfill this role accordingly? Our main role is representation of the people, all the people, legislative power, oversight of government, and budgetary control. One of our key elements when taking the oath to take office is based on Article 56 of our Constitution. It is to serve in the best interest of St. Martin and its people, and to lead with honesty, integrity, and accountability. That is our mandate, and that is our duty. Leadership is not a choice, it's a necessity. And we are not talking about dealership. No, we are talking about leadership with principles. Leaders who make decisions for the long-term good for our people, who stand tall in face of challenges and crises. The URSM faction is a party that represents you, all the people of St. Martin. We only have been part of this parliamentary year for 7 months. One thing we can say, it was an experience that is engraved in our memories. The grandstanding, the personal attacks, the manipulation, the urge of power, the endless investigations, the walking out of meetings to avoid quorum, this all have turned our parliament into a show, a political novella. This is not why the people of St. Martin elected us. The focus should have been on legislation, on policies that improve the lives of our citizens, representation of their rights. Too much time was wasted on political distractions. We can no longer afford to operate like this. It's time to realize the power of the choices we make. The people of St. Martin have actively showed that in the past election. We must reflect and think on how we can do better. Every decision we take affects the lives of our people and of St. Martin. In this moment, now more than ever, we must recognize the weight of the positions we hold. Talk is cheap and the people are tired of it. They are watching. They're demanding action, not just empty promises. We've had 2 elections in 9 months' time. It's time to raise the bar in this honorable house and to truly serve the people of this beautiful country who elected us. St. Martin deserves representation that is strong, transparent, and that's what the URSM stands for. The URSM faction is only, as I said, in Parliament for the past 7 months. But we haven't been sitting still. With the 2 seats, we have taken our role seriously, working tirelessly for the improvement of the people. I, for example, have been called a rookie, but that hasn't stopped me from contributing to the change. Being new doesn't mean being silent, and it doesn't mean standing on the sidelines. It means working harder to ensure that we are fulfilling our responsibility to this nation. We are proud of the many critical questions we have posed, not to obstruct, but to ensure that the government serves the people with transparency and accountability. As representatives of the people, it is our duty to serve the country and its citizens with integrity and determination. The progress we make is not only for today, but for the generations that will follow. Since URSM entered into Parliament, we have been working on several law amendments that directly address the concerns of our citizens with regards to the alleviation of poverty, such as a breakfast program for the students awaiting the legal completion. We have contributed for the past 2 years in the breakfast programs of one of the schools, but also salary scale adjustments for teachers, risk allowance for our heroes, organized consultations on the legal status of civil servants, in particular within the Justice Ministry, and the establishment of small claims court and the multidisciplinary chamber courts, and also an amendment related to the immigration law. We have also been approached by Teen Time St. Martin to work on laws that will tackle the hair discrimination within schools. This can hopefully be in collaboration in Parliament, but also together with the future Minister of Education. As a faction, we have submitted proposals to government, and let me just highlight 2. Proposal to the Ministry of Justice in regards to the tackling of the high-rising crime, and also to the Ministry of VSA, the Honorable Minister Veronica Janssen-Webster, in regards to opening the legal help desk, which will soon start on St. Martin. When we reflect on the problems we inherited, we can now say that after much hard work and determination, Prime Minister Luc Marcelina of the URSM, in collaboration with GB, has presented a structured plan that is addressing our energy crisis. We can finally see light at the end of the tunnel.
On behalf of the United People's Party, we will stay and remain dedicated to working for the people of St. Martin. I've often said it, and I still stand by it, none of us run elections to not be in a government. But however, we are here today, and like my colleagues say, it's time to work for the people of St. Martin. It's time to highlight not our differences that much, because it will happen on the floor of Parliament, but highlight our love for country. However, it'll be remiss of me to say as well, the responsibility lies on the coalition to ensure that you communicate, ensure that you are in line with each other, and ensure that you can keep it together. I say this, Madam Chair, that in 6 short months, the United People's Party has submitted 3 draft legislation initiatives, and we will continue to do so, whether in government or in opposition. We will continue to work for the benefit of the people. There are many pressing issues that we all address. And my philosophy is, we can come to Parliament every day. We can grandstand every day. But are you carrying out your duties as a legislator? Are you presenting laws, motions, and taking action to assist the people? For years and years, we have fooled the public of St. Martin by thinking the one that speaks the loudest or speaks the best or speaks the longest is the hardest working. But that is not the case. It's a new day, new era, new time. I say to the Parliament of St. Martin, as we close the parliamentary year, let us remember, at the end of the day, we all have different ideologies. That's why we all are in different parties. But we all have the same goal, a better St. Martin. A better St. Martin. And it comes with communication and understanding. Communication is often the key that is neglected, that causes misunderstandings. Misinformation is also the key that causes confusion. So I look forward to a new parliamentary year where myself and my colleague, on behalf of the United People's Party, will continue to work, continue to strive for excellence. I always believe if you strive for perfection, you will never be perfect, but you will only do your best. So I ask the people of St. Martin to continue to monitor each and every one of us in here as parliamentarians. Monitor who are doing their job, monitor who are bringing legislations, and monitor who is holding the government accountable. I say to you, public of St. Martin, I am ready. We are ready to take on whatever task is in front of us, and we will put our best foot forward. So to my colleagues, to some of you that are returning and some unfortunately not, I do not doubt your love for St. Martin. And I often said it, and I'll say it here publicly on the floor of Parliament. Once you postulate yourself, I have the utmost respect for you. Because you could have stayed on Facebook and rant all day, but you have decided to be a part of the solution.
A year that has seen not just the one general election that we all anticipated, but a second snap election as well. The last 8 months have been difficult and confusing, and they've left me with many feelings that aren't yet resolved. And if that's how I feel, I can only imagine how the public is experiencing these last 8 months. Because to my personal opinion, and I believe I can speak on behalf of the Party of Progress faction, it has been 8 months of missed opportunities to come together for the people of St. Martin, blinded by so much ego, so much capitalism, and Scooby-Doo plans that are more transparent than cling wrap. I'm hoping that with the opening of tomorrow's new parliamentary year and with the pending arrival of new members of parliament, that we stop this continuous hurt of the people. Because guess what? They have sent a second message to us in here to stop the bacchanalist style of politics and to dig deep and self-reflect, to maybe stop surrounding oneself with sycophants and yes men and women, because that has not led to growth. It has only led to self-destruction. It's my sincerest hope that tomorrow, the opening of a new parliamentary year, does not also mark the start of wacky plans to destabilize Parliament and take down the new government, but of something else. Something that is based in integrity, in good ethics, in collaboration, even when the opportunity to be counterproductive is there. in recognizing that stability is important even when you're sitting in opposition. It's a lesson I learned observing my father's political career for 23 years, and one the PFP faction managed to live by for 4 years, so it cannot be that difficult a lesson to learn. The people have told us twice now in 1 year that the time for that 1990s destructive style of doing politics is done. The people have warned us that anyone who continues to try to bring it back, whether you're in politics or just an outsider trying to little finger your way into things, will be dealt with accordingly. So we must all move differently, with that warning at the front of our minds. With that, Madam Chair Lady, I think I've set my reputation for being short, sweet, and to the point. I end by expressing my hope that with this new parliamentary year ahead, we deal with some pending issues that are meant to safeguard our democracy and our country, including the draft legislation to regulate tendering and procurement so that we spend the people's money ethically and efficiently, the finalization of the Criminal Procedure Code, and the introduction of bigger, bolder steps to electoral reform to protect our electoral processes and ensure that the continued journey of being a country is sustainable, ethical, and steeped in good governance.
A cautiously positive outlook, Madam Chair, was given by the Jacobs II government through His Excellency Governor Bailey in his speech, highlighting needed continuity in projects, programs, and reforms. Electoral reform being one of them, but of course, many reforms in taxes and other matters that were needed to bring St. Martin, after many, many years of neglect, not just the last 4, but many, many years of neglect, to where we need to be able to build on a future sustainable development for St. Martin's people. That with the understanding that we just come out of severe crises. Back to present day, 12 months and 2 elections later, with even more changes of allegiance between parties and persons, has brought us to the end of this parliamentary year where, yes, some progress has been noted with the approval of Budget 23, Budget Amendment 23, as well as Budget 2024, and long overdue capital expenditures finally being made available for the needed infrastructure upgrades, road projects, ICT, vehicles for justice and other workers within government, as well as upgrades to the prison, among many others. But significantly and more concerning, Madam Chair, is the aura of halting, stopping, and stagnation of these very needed projects, something that our National Alliance faction, though slightly diminished in the coming term on the 20th of September, will continue to stand behind these sustainable development projects of Sweet St. Martin. With education leading the way to upgrade our most valuable resource, our people, encouraging lifelong learning, but also bringing more awareness right here in Parliament. I've heard great speeches throughout my years, whether on the other end or on this end, but it is action that speaks louder than words. And so I would love to see, moving forward, that this resource, the people of St. Martin, is actually given the attention it needs in these halls here of Parliament while we hold the government accountable in the areas of education, environment, infrastructure, ensuring that affordable housing, health, and the needed reforms in finance, as well as the overall improvement of the quality of life of the people of St. Martin, which we champion so well with our mouths, will continue in actions by monitoring the government, holding them accountable when necessary, bringing changes, amendments to legislation, as well as initiatives, as we have been known to do right here in the halls of Parliament. We, as a National Alliance government, or Parliament, will continue, faction in Parliament, will continue to hold accountable the execution of ongoing projects, programs, upgrades in legislation, and the actions needed to continue to boost our economy. Because in reviewing that speech from last year, Madam Chair, I was quite, let's say, proud to note that there was projected positivity in terms of the economy, in terms of the income of our government, and the continued progress in legislation. This, the National Alliance faction will continue to monitor and contribute to, as we always come. Parliament, government, opposition, or proposition. As members of Parliament, we will continue to champion the committee meetings needed to deliberate with the community councils, with the NGOs, environmental agencies, as well as individuals who have a serious challenge and or solutions to problems. As any faction, we will not allow for the halting or stagnating of anything that is good for the people of St. Martin, regardless of who has started it. And we would also like to continue to acknowledge the hard work of our treasured civil servants, their time and energy spent in carrying out these projects and programs, and that is not lost in the process to be punitive. As we look forward to this new parliamentary year, where we will continue to have even more accountability from the sitting government and hopefully less excuses and blame game tactics, the time to govern is now. Look back, yes, gauge where we were, what has been done, honestly, and take up the mantle to do your part. You have had the ball since May of this year, and it will be yours, for the most part, to continue to take the ball up the court, up the field, or whichever sport you love. But know that, as a national alliance, we are proud to be part of the programs that are ongoing, that are rooted in our national development vision for St. Martin.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah, your social health insurances.
Because I believe the future of St. Martin is bright, Madam Chair Lady. I look at my colleagues who are here, I look at those who will be staying, and I look at those who will be going, including myself. And I say, Madam Chair, we have a parliament with individuals who will be coming in that are forward-thinking and want the best for this country. I also look at my colleagues who are here and those who will be in opposition or who will be opposing the government. And I see individuals who are strong in their commitment, strong in their love for country, strong in their things and whatever they believe is best for St. Martin. So there's no need to preach doom and gloom whatsoever when it comes to this country. Madam Chair, when I look behind me, I see individuals such as Member of Parliament Utley. I see Member of Parliament La Cruz, who will be staying in Parliament. I see Member of Parliament Duran. I see Member of Parliament also Arian. I see Member of Parliament Roseburg. And I'm not leaving MP Marlin and MP Jacobs out. I know we will be marching on too as well, Madam Chair, temporarily. But I also see Member of Parliament Melissa Gomes. I see Member of Parliament De Weaver. I see Member of Parliament also Bruch and Roseburg and Katai. And I say we are good people here in Parliament that have the best for this country, Madam Chair Lady. So I have no fear whatsoever. What I will say to the people of St. Martin, I got nothing but love for this country. So, Madam Chair, with that being said, I am saying to the people of St. Martin, thank you. Thank you, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve in this honorable body, to serve in the executive branch. And I served also as well with members who are parliament here, and we did well. And I always said that was the best government that we have had. So to the people of St. Martin, I got nothing but love. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you guys. Goodbye.
I must say, this year has been an interesting one. When I watched the year closing remarks in the parliamentary year of last year, I will say a lot has changed, while a lot hasn't. What has changed is that from the 15 members who were here a year ago, few faces remain. Besides that, what has not changed is the quality of life of our citizens. In the last 12 months, we saw a major portion of the time go in a campaign rhetoric, 2 elections in the same calendar year. We saw the pulling of support from the existing government to the support being offered back within a few days. When someone jokes and says, boy, St. Martin ain't a real place, I used to take it as a joke, but sometimes I do wonder. It depends on the collective will of us 15 here to set examples in the community that we are in. Although we are called politicians, please let us leave politics out for the growth of our nation. Our people deserve better. In these last 12 months, our largest kingdom partner, the Netherlands, held their elections in November of 2023. The European Parliament held their elections as well in June of 2024. As we are surrounded by uncertainties in these periods of repeated change of political guard, our largest trading partner, the United States of America, is preparing for the elections as well. I urge everyone here, those listening, those watching, to understand it's about time we realize that being a small island, we cannot afford a frequent change of guard. I will add, by no means we can have a stagnant 4 years without any progress. Stability is the need of the hour, but stability is not a hostage to malice. Our population deserves better, and it's our moral duty to give them better. Reflecting on the past year, I beam in pride, knowing that it is a St. Martiner who's representing us in the West Indies cricket team. But with this pride, I reflect about the lack of opportunities to our youth due to the infrastructure of our nation and the facilities of what it can offer. As I stand here and reflect on the progress or lack of progress over the past year, I will also bring up a small motivation for my fellow parliamentarians today. As many in the community expect the execution of policies from the elected representatives, we have to define our role as legislators with tangible impact on societal growth. As understood explicitly that we stand here as legislators, we have to think that whatever we wish to legislate, it can make a difference in society and what we are going to do to achieve with this said legislation. The 8 verse 7, the 9 verse 6 notion is too ancient. I hope we can go ahead with all 15 of us, those who are coming in, to work for the growth and the betterment of St. Martin. And I would like to thank everyone for giving me the platform and guiding me throughout these last 2 months. MP Emmanuel, MP Jacobs, MP Marlin, who is not here at the moment. I give my thanks, and I look forward to y'all answering my phone when I need some advice.
So far, we are very, very pleased with the turnout that we've had so far today. And we're at Napa on the Illich Road, and we're also in Pole Bay today from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock. We've had over 100 people come to the Illich Road, and we had more than 50 go over at Cold Bay so far, so the turnout is exceptionally well. We want to encourage you to come out. We're here until 1 o'clock. We're here next week on the 14th as well from 9 until 1. And then, of course, the follow-up event is at the St. Martin Medical Center for the open house, where we will get other screenings done as well on that day, and the results from the PSA test taken today on September 14th.
Did you have difficulty in getting people to come and do their test?
No, actually, it was quite easy. The men are excited, and we're encouraged by their excitement to get tested. There are a few men that are basically still a little bit hesitant, but we're also encouraging them to get tested and inviting their friends to come and get tested too. Man up and check up.
Well, I think we have a very good example from the ladies with their breast cancer awareness. So I think it's important for men to also step up.
Yes, yes. And how was it for your experience doing your blood test?
It was fast and painless.
Very good, very good. So you manned up and you checked up, right?
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
What encouragement that you will give to other men as yourself?
It's not even 5 minutes, and there's nothing to it.
That's
But
it.
but do you find that men should really come out and check themselves out to see if they're okay?
Well, of course, because we want to be there for our families, so we have to take care of ourselves.
So happy that so many men are coming up for our Man Up Checkup free prostate cancer screening here at Napa in both locations in Colby and in Phillipsburg. And we do this every year. We want to stimulate men to take charge of their health. And of course, early detection saves lives. So the Positive and Electrolytes Foundation, in collaboration with St. Martin Laboratory Services, and of course, Napa Auto Parts, and everybody who have helped us throughout the month of September is making this possible. So I'll let this wonderful lab technician tell us all about what you're doing here today.
Hi, good morning, Sir Martin. My name is Islyn. I am a phlebotomist with the St. Martin Laboratory Services, 10 years of experience. So today at Napa, Colby, we're taking the blood samples from men who are coming in to take charge of their health. So they're doing the prostate test. It's only by venipuncture, which means we take a needle and take blood out of their arm. There's no physical exam going on. So you come in, you take your blood, and that's it. 2 minutes in, and you get your results in a few days, and you can know how your health is.
We are always overwhelmed. Every time I do a Man Up Checkup event, I get goosebumps, and I know Shelly does too, because, you know, we're two women doing a men's event, and the response always is very overwhelming. And I just spoke to a man from Anguilla. He said he just came to the island of St. Martin. He heard this was going on, so he decided to come and just get checked. And I said to him, maybe we have to do a Man Up Checkup Anguilla. So you never know. But to show you that it is catching on, we are reaching men. And of course, we started back in 2019 when a call from the St. Martin Medical Center was given to us from the urologist who noticed that, hey, something is not very good here on the island, and we need to inform the community that they have to start checking so we can save lives. So I want to thank all the men and give them that opportunity. If you didn't come today, you can come next week, same time, same place, right?
Yes.
And the wonderful staff of SLS and of course Napa will be here to help you to get all the things you need so you can take charge of your health and man up, and then what? Check up.
Check up.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
After a long-awaited period after the aftermath of Hurricane Irma, ultimately we're going to start with the reconstruction, the repair, and the upgrading from the Joycelyn Arndel Festival Village. For me, it's a great honor to be at the initiation of this project, and I think it's going to be a beautiful project for the people of St. Martin. As you know, my government is standing for the process of nation building, and of course with the upgrading of a beautiful event center or a carnival village like this one that we're going to repair, I think it's going to be a great additional value for the people of St. Martin. And for that I want to thank my government too, that worked together with me for us to make sure that today we can sign the contract that will actually commit everybody for us to start with the reconstruction, repair and upgrading of our Carnival Village. What does this project include? First of all, we're going to start with demolishing of 15 booth units that have been destroyed by Hurricane Irma and Maria. These booths will be completely demolished and we will reconstruct them. Secondly, we're going to replace the roof of the bleachers building in front, and further we are going to renovate the roof of all the booths. And further we're going to renovate also the stage. We had some challenging actions with the stage being leakage, so we decided that we are going to revise actually the roof of the stage of the Carnival Village, and we're going to the 79 booths that we have in the Carnival Village. They're all going to be retiled. Further, in honor of Mr. Joycelyn Arndel, we're going to place a bust of him in front of the building to honor him, of course, for who he was as a citizen of St. Martin, for actually his contribution for the development of St. Martin. So we're going to honor him by placing his bust, let's put it that way, in front of the building.